Thank you very much, Dr. Richards. I'm now at the part on the program where it calls for closing remarks, but there are really very few. The right words have already been said, and we have some actions still to perform. You heard about voluntary donors. You heard about the fact that the goal is for all countries to obtain all their blood supplies from 100% voluntary unpaid donors by 2020. You heard that Jamaica is only at 15%. We come now to the point where we want you to look, to see in our own symbolic way what that looks like. And we're going to ask our Director of PAHO, Dr. Carissa Etienne, and the Honorable Dr. Fenton Ferguson, Minister of Health, to come forward to perform the symbolic release of balloons. You will see the balloons coming forward in white and red. And if you look, we're going to ask you to look to your left. We don't want them to get stuck under here. So the technology tells us with the wind direction we have to go over there. So a little change of plans. But you will see the great preponderance of white balloons, which really represents the replacement donors. These are people going to donate for friends, family. And you see the smaller amount of red, are you seeing that? Yes. Now it's 200 white and 30 red. That's the 15%, the red. What we want, how many red balloons do we want if we have achieved our goal? 100%. So if you look to my right where I'm pointing, the Minister and Dr. Etienne are going to release those balloons. We assure you that they are biodegradable and will not contaminate the environment. So as we watch them released and float away, we want to focus on our own contribution. How many of the school children, can I see your hands? Wow, thank you for being here. How many of you are thinking about becoming blood donors, having been here today? That's fine, that's good, it's a fair number of you, at least you are thinking about it. And we will continue to guide you in terms of how you are to do that. We want to recognize especially all of our partners. Mr. Sterling Suarez is seated in the front row. National Health Fund, we call your name and you'll perform an action soon. Delighted to see you, sir. We also want to recognize the presence of Dr. Maria Dolores Perez Rosales. She's a regional advisor for blood services and organ transplants, medicines and health technologies, area of health systems of PAHO. There go our balloons. You notice the white, they're going. Somebody will need to release our red balloons. Can somebody get them? They're all going. Very nicely so. So there go the white, and in time we hope to be releasing only red balloons. So this is just a symbolic release to show you where we are now, and the red balloons which are lingering with us, that's also very symbolic because we want them to stay with us, so God is good. We're now moving on to the point in the program where you heard already about the handing over of a bus to the National Blood Transfusion Service by the National Health Fund and the cutting of the ribbon. Again, because the park is environmentally friendly, the bus is parked just on the outside. And we're now going to ask the party seated at the head table to move towards the bus with Minister and Dr. Etienne, Mr. Soares, Dr. Coombs, Chief Medical Officer. Please proceed to the bus. We're going to ask our audience, please remain seated as we go to do the handing over of the bus. You're going to also be viewing it, and I will be narrating. So, Dr. Etienne, please make your way to the bus. Please remain seated, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to witness the handing over of the keys and the documents of the bus. Mr. Soares and Minister. Mr. Soares will now hand the keys and the documents of the bus to the Honorable Minister. We thank you very much, the National Health Fund, for your ongoing contribution to the National Blood Transfusion Service. And now we'll go on to the cutting of the ribbon. Dr. Etienne and Dr. Scott will cut the ribbon. Please go ahead. Yes, and the ribbon is cut. We want to thank the National Health Fund for this donation. We would like to see Minister and Dr. Etienne sitting in the vehicle. No, we won't trust the driving at this point in time. Just take a look. This will be very useful in terms of the voluntary donations and will help to transport personnel and volunteers to their respective locations. You can see how comfortable they are. This 15-seater bus will be used extensively as the program will take them right across the island. Our Minister of Health is at the wheel, and he knows that he has precious cargo. Dr. Etienne, our Director of the Pan American Health Organization, please help me to give the National Health Fund a resounding round of applause for this very valuable contribution. We'll now invite our official party to tour Emancipation Park and the exhibitions, starting with the blood donation booth, where Ms. Sonia Binns will be making her 80th donation of a unit of blood today. Thank you all for being here. You have been a wonderful audience. The exhibition is now open. Please tour the many booths in the park and remember to take a look at the posters as you proceed along the walkway. For those who wish to donate blood, please note that the blood donation booth is to my right and the team is awaiting your arrival. Thank you all for being here and thank you all for joining this official launch ceremony of World Blood Donor Day 2013. Thank you.